Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Wishing you guys a very happy new year. Hope this year turns out to be the most remarkable year of your life. Um, I'm here and I'm gonna start a series of videos which resonate with me very well. So it's a topic which is very important for me at this phase of my life at this point in time, and I would like to share my journey of well-being. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who go through a lot of different things, um, and probably they are not as expressive or shy to just ask for help. So I'm here telling you guys that today I'm going to talk to you about mental health well-being, and how I have sort of in this journey of making myself better every single day, and how anybody can get affected and can undergo stress and immense trauma, tension. It can happen to anyone, and that's okay if that's happened to you. A more important thing is how you work towards getting over that phase. I would say it's, if they say it's, if you are having a mental health issue, or you're going through stress, or you're going through trauma, it's something which cannot be resolved overnight. So you don't look at a bunch of videos on YouTube, or you listen to a bunch of people and they're saying everything's going to be all right, and things, it's not going to be like all right. Like, you as a person who's going through a crisis situation would not understand that, and that's completely fine. So here I am to tell you that you're not alone. So I've been through a journey wherein I have also worked a lot towards my mental health. In fact, 2021 was obviously not one of my best years. It was the worst year of my life. I mean, all the bad things together, like COVID was not enough, that a lot of other bad things had to happen. And there was a time when I had to deal with a lot of emotions myself, and it was hard to process any of those things. And that's when I realized how important mental health is. And here I've decided that in 2022 I'm gonna work on myself and help somebody else, or a lot of people who probably would have been in a I would not, I mean, they shouldn't be in a situation like this. I just hope and pray that nobody is, but if you are, just remember that you're not alone. There are people who go through a lot of problems, and it's okay. I mean, it's a part of life. I mean, if you see these beautiful, amazing celebrities, they have so much money, they look so good. I mean, they're beautiful. I mean, they have the perfect body and everything, but still, they go through depression. They have issues. They have deal with stress, and that's, it's like, it's things like, you have a lot of money, but you're just not happy. And I was in a similar situation wherein when you look at me, and even to this day, if you look at me, and you would probably think I have the biggest smile. So people tell me that, Samana, you have the biggest smile whenever they see me. And because I'm always smiling and happy, and I'm dressed well, prim and proper. But what they don't know is I was broken inside. I don't know, so I don't put out that picture. And that's what mental health is. I mean, nobody will understand that you're going through something unless there's a trigger. So for instance, I think people who are going through some anxiety or stress will relate to this, that in a normal situation, they're just fine to talk to anyone. I mean, just normal conversations, but somebody, if they ask you something which is probably not very sensitive, but it seems sensitive to you at that point in time, it triggers you, and um, you end up having a meltdown. So that happened to me, if somebody just asks me like few questions and I have a normal conversation, it's fine, it's good, it's great. But if somebody just asks too many questions, or just gets a little hits me, like probably asks me something which is probably something I don't want to answer, or something I feel bad, or it hurts me, I have a meltdown. And that clearly made me feel that there's something wrong, my mental health is not fine. um there were months wherein I did not feel like waking up from my bed, like I just didn't want to wake up. My biggest problem with dealing, when I realized that, or with mental health, or in life, basically my biggest problem in life last year was that, I had invested a lot of my time, in fact all of my time and energy and everything, on something. And with me, the problem was, I've grown up in a very chilled out environment, and I have my life was always planned. Like I wanted to do engineering, and then I was in IT for 2 years, and then I knew I wanted to do my master's, and then I knew I would land up a good job and then get married. La la la. That was my plan, and everything was perfect as per my plan. And what was my problem is, I invested all of my life, like my entire life, on one plan. There was no plan B. I did not know. Like, I was like, everything works for me, so obviously everything else is going to work, like, just as per my plan. And unfortunately, um, things didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out as per my plan. And then, boom, I was shaken. I couldn't take it. And problem with me was, since I'd invested all my time, energy on that one plan, I did not have a plan B in life. Like, if that plan is gone, there is no plan. I was like, I was devastated. I was like, what is going to happen to me? And it's crazy because when you're going through a mental health situation, you're in a denial phase for a very long period of time. So you're just not, you probably can see the entire situation right in front of you, but you are unable to process any of that information which is in front of you. And that's exactly what happened to me. So to process it, I mean, firstly, to, that denial phase goes on for a long time. So I think that's the worst phase of when a trauma hits you or something bad happens to you. It's like you spend your first few months or years probably in denial, and you're like, this can't happen. And that exactly happened to me. So for me, the symptoms were like, I just couldn't wake up from my bed in the morning. I found it so difficult to just wake up. I'm like, that's like, even to this day, I mean, of course it's so much better, but I always used to feel that when I'm sleeping, it's nice, I don't want to wake up, simply because when I sleep and my eyes are closed, and I used to sleep well, is when I'm in a different zone. I'm dreaming of different things, what I had planned. And once I open my eyes, it's like the reality hits you, and I'm unable to sink that feeling in, that this has happened to me. So that was the most difficult part of my mental health. I mean, I found it very difficult. So, and there were times when I was like, I didn't know what to do, and when something when that situation hit me, and I want to say that mental health and physical health, they are not two different things. They're very intertwined, they're very interrelated, because if your mental health is not good, it automatically affects your physical health. So for example, like, if you are sad or you're upset about something, you don't eat, you don't feel like you don't want to touch food, you don't feel like cooking, you don't feel like doing your normal routine work, it's hard for you to do it. And that happens in case of, like, if something hits you, like a trauma or something, and then after that, uh because this hits you, and obviously you don't feel like doing anything, you don't feel like eating, doing anything, and it takes a toll on your physical health. So I started, like, I'm a person, I never had acne or anything. I had like lot of acne on my face, like it was so bad. I developed kidney infection, I had high cholesterol, which is something not right for somebody of my age, and I had uric acid uh, borderline. When my cholesterol levels were high, my father thought that it's because I've been, like, I went to visit India, and obviously I was upset, and then he thought like probably it's because of junk or something. What have I been eating? Too much oily food, like it's a bong thingy, right? But then that was not the case. It's because the doctor knew that I was stressed, and he told me that, like, you have increase in cholesterol levels not just because of your diet, but also because if you're upset, you're under stress, and all of that happens. So basically what I'm trying to tell here is, if your mental health is affected, it definitely takes a toll on your physical health as well, in different ways possible. So for me, I realized that it's very important for me to start taking care of my physical health and mental health. I should do anything to get better, because there's one thing I always tell myself and others around me, that there are a lot of things which are in your control, but then there are a lot of other things which are not in your control, and then you don't try to do it. It's just God's way of directing things, or making the best choices for you. I think that's what it is. So after that, I literally realized that what I'm doing is wrong, and this is not the lifestyle I want to. I don't want to, like, end up, you know um because I've seen, when I was going through this, and even to this day, so I read documentaries, wherein people, horrible things happen to them. They're horrifying events happening to good people, and that one two incidents, that changes their entire life. I mean, they just turn out to be a completely different person, and they're scarred for life. And I obviously didn't want to be one of those people, and I wanted to work on my personality, work on myself, because obviously I know for a fact that I'm not the same person as I was maybe in 2018, 19, but obviously I want to be that, so I would do anything to get that back. And that's very important, is in your mental health journey, in your wellness journey, it's very important to not forget that who you were, and try to get back to your actual personality. Maybe there was a time when a lot of things would happen, and it questioned my worthiness. I was like, am I, like, maybe I deserve this, maybe I'm not worthy enough for anything good happening. Like, maybe I was not happy, like I had a good job, I was like proper, but I wasn't happy, so I still felt like trash, like. So I had to get over these feelings, and there are people who deal with such things in different ways. And these are the things which I would like to share with you. Some of them, maybe you can use that and apply it to your own lives if you're going through a similar situation or stress. Basically just do this, and I'm sure it's going to help you. Like, different people uh, go and do different things when they're hit by something very bad. So some do exercise, some get into like good things, some do like bad stuff, like some get into drugs, alcohol. Sometimes you want to be in the company of other men and women, and that's different for different people, and nothing is good or bad. Like, I would say what is right for you is right? But make sure that whatever you're choosing to get over that trauma is doesn't make it worse for you in the long run. Like, if you're choosing something, if you're choosing alcohol or drugs to get over something, that's actually causing you a long-term damage, and you wouldn't want to do that to yourself. So I indulged in like, I was always a spiritual person, so I indulged in spirituality completely. I was learning about life, about why things happen to people. I was so philosophical. I was like learning different things. I watched Sadhguru. I was learning. I kept affirmations for myself every day, and I believed in myself, and that really helped. So it has different ways of different people have different ways of dealing with it. So let me give you a few pointers about how I dealt with my mental health. And it's, as I said, it's going to be a progressive journey. It's something which is not magically, you don't feel all right, like but I've heard from a friend that there would be one day when you would just wake up in the morning and just feel amazing about everything. And yeah, I hope that happens. And let me share what exactly, and maybe you can follow the same approach if you're dealing with mental health issue or stress, and that is definitely going to help you. So first thing is, just focus on the positives. There may be 100 things going wrong in your life, but there would be just one or two things which still goes right? So just focus on the positives. Maybe you have a nice job, maybe the people around you are kind. In my case, I met a lot of strangers, believe me or not. They didn't even know me, and they helped me so much. I made a lot of friends. Everyone in my journey, like the progression I had, helped me immensely. Like, there was a lot of time when I wanted my own privacy, like I wanted my own space, because I didn't want a lot of people around me. I didn't want noise, but at the same time, when I wanted people around, they were there. So look for the positives. You have food to eat, you have friends around, you have a job, you have a house, you have amazing parents, you have amazing family. So you should look at the positives in your life and just stop focusing on the negatives. And whenever there's a problem, just work on the solution. Because if you keep discussing and sulking about, oh, this is my problem, and there's no solution, like, find the solution for that and just get done with it. And so yeah, so I'm more of that. So, and then I started focusing on the positives, and I was always basically a very forgiving and a very kind, giving person, and that kind of was always inbuilt in my nature. And then I realized, yeah, it's very important to not sulk about the mean bad things which are happening, and just be happy and positive that there are a lot of good things. Like, look at the brighter side. And I started traveling. I think nature really helps you in a very great way. I mean, if you're really sad, I would really recommend you to, like, sort of travel. uh, like if it's expensive for you, just go on for walks, go to a park, like go walking, like go to your local town or explore your local town. Or if you have the money, travel, go to different cities, explore, because I feel the more you connect with nature or with other places and other people, you understand that it's different. In fact, when I was so upset, I connected with my office mates, and my mates told me their different stories. I mean, because of COVID, we couldn't connect, and everybody they come from a very challenging background, and it's not easy. I mean, they are dealing with difficult lives and difficult situations, and they put up a happy face at work, and they're doing extraordinarily well at their jobs. And I'm amazed and inspired by all of them, and it just inspires me to see that people work so hard, and it's very important to accept and move on. I think um, they say that you're healed when you're over the denial and you start processing things, you accept the things the way they are. That's your first step of healing. So that's when you've like actually like healed, you're trying to work on that. So that's that. Focus on positives. Now the second point is practice gratitude. It's very important to be thankful for whatever you have instead of whatever you do not have. Be thankful for that meal you have, and be thankful for the people. Be thankful for your family, for your mother, for your father, for your friends. It's just that things somehow magically work. As I said, there were times when I was like, as I said, I didn't want to eat, and I didn't cook food for months, and I was tired ordering food. Like there are times when I didn't have food, and then I didn't even ask, and my friend, she was making food for her boyfriend, and then she used to make extra wraps for me, which was so kind. I mean, so it's always good to be grateful for the people around you. And there was this girl who helped me at my very difficult and rough period, and then obviously now I stay at a very far from her, but I make sure that I meet her and I take care of her and stay in touch, so that, and I have so much gratitude for the people who have helped me during my difficult times. Because as I say rightly, you won't remember what they gave you, that dress they gave you, the brand they gave you, the restaurant you ate. What you'll remember is how they treated you, and whether good or bad, we'll always remember how we've been treated, right? So it's very important to remember people who help you in your difficult times, and that really helps a lot. And yeah, so that's something very important. So it's important to like just say thank you and have gratitude for the people who are by your side, because that's very important, be it friends, family, anybody. Third one was connect with other people. Like I lived alone, and it was hard for me to, like, I had my friend with me with whom I stayed, but otherwise it's important to connect with your people, like your parents or your friends or somebody who you trust. Because sometimes when you're going through a mental health crisis, you feel very, very upset and disappointed about everything, and you would need to talk to someone. Make sure, if you're feeling really sad, it's like there would be points when you just want to give up. You're just this concept which I say, fear of the unknown, which I tell other people. When I was going through this phase, I had this problem of the fear, or the fear of the unknown, wherein I used to tell my friends that I don't know, like, if the future is going to be worse than the present. So that is something which obviously needed to be worked upon. I mean, And then I thought that it's very important, whenever such thoughts arise, and I would say to anybody who is going through something, that make sure you connect to your near and dear ones. Just pick up the phone and talk to somebody, or just go to that next room and say hi to your friend, or just call your parents and just say that, I want to talk to you. If you want to cry, just cry. I think it really helps. It's just talking to somebody helps, at least for that short time. It does help a lot. And then again, the next day, if you feel like crying, you can again call someone. Just always connect. Next thing was maintain physical health. As I said, physical and mental health are connected, like they're not different. So it was important for me to be physically fit. Like, I'm somebody of a body type which can, it's very, my body type is very weird. So I had to, like, what I started doing is I started exercising. And for me, body weights, yoga and Pilates, these are the things which help me. Whatever helps you do that. I think walking, anything, running, so do whatever you can, like, for your physical well-being. I think exercise really helps very well, because I think something's released when you exercise. I don't know the science terms, but it just makes you feel a lot more positive. Like, I've tried meditation, chanting, I do all of that, but exercise, like proper body weight exercise, is something which really helps you. I think in my case, it's helped me. And doing something which you've never done, like for my case, like I have had breathing issues for the longest time I know. And I started going hiking, and yeah, I did some things which I've never done. So I think those kind of things really help. Or if you have a hobby, if you love dancing, like I love dancing, so I joined dance classes, like anything. So I decided that I would do anything and everything which would make me feel better, and obviously help me in the long run, in my own life. And yeah, I started doing that. The last point would be developing strong coping skills. Like, how do you deal with it? Like, how do I manage anxiety? Like, how do I, like, I just start drinking, like, whenever something makes me anxious, I drink a glass of water, or I start listening to a chant or something. Do, like, understand your coping skills. If you want to talk to a therapist, talk to them. You're not meant to live if you're going to a therapist. It's, everybody goes to it. There's somebody you need to talk to. Sometimes there are things which you cannot tell your mother, your father, your best friend. Maybe a therapist can help you in that. So whatever is your coping skill, my coping skill would be writing. I love to write whenever I feel sad, and or just I've learned to take few deep breaths, and it's different for different people, so do that. So this is like a long, like, it's a very intense and a long topic, and it's obviously something very, very personal for me. So I think I'm gonna, like, talk about it a lot more, but in series, like in different episodes. So this is it for today. I hope you hope you liked my video. And if someone's going through something, if any of you are going through anything, don't worry. You're not alone. Like, you're really not alone. There are a lot of people going through something or the other, because life is very, very unpredictable. So you just take it with a pinch of salt and just accept it, and make sure you do what I said, and I'm sure it's definitely going to help you. Thanks, guys. Cheers, and have a great day.